Hey everybody, it's Andrew Ainsworth here. Welcome to the video. First of all, apologies, not been posting anything for the last few weeks. It's mid-April now, and everyone's come out of hibernation in the UK to start playing a little bit of golf. So I've got really busy teaching and fitting and really not had much time to do any YouTube content. But I just thought I'd say hello today, let you know I'm still here, give you a little update on a few things, and at the end of the video, hang around. I've got a couple of little tips which I've been seeing a lot of happening in my recent lessons. I'm wondering if you may be suffering with the same problem, so we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's tell you what's been going on sort of in the shop, in the academy, from a fitting perspective. Before we talk about that, this winter in the UK has been absolutely awful, probably the worst winter I can remember for golf courses being shut, not because of snow or anything like that, which is what normally closes our golf courses, just been so wet. It feels like it's been raining non-stop since like last November. So the poor old golf courses have just been saturated. The water table levels have got so high that even a small shower just shuts the golf courses again. You know, it's just absolutely saturated. So golfers have had a rough time. If the courses have been open, it's been carry only. It's been like, get a small carry bag, chuck half a dozen clubs in there and off you go. So people who struggle carrying haven't been able to play because we don't have trolley. We have trolley bans here in the UK, and golf cart ride on golf carts aren't such a big thing over here in the UK as they are over in America and other countries. We don't tend to use them as much, as golfers tend to prefer to walk rather than ride most of the time. But when the courses are wet, you can't use golf carts. So yeah, poor old pros on golf courses have had a really rough time of it because the courses have been shut. So I feel quite fortunate being indoors that I haven't really suffered. My business has been probably busier than normal because of the courses have been shut. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. Equipment wise, what's been going really well? So Ping G430 range continues for me to be like my number one seller. It's absolutely brilliant. The G430 driver, the LS Tech, the Max and the SFT, brilliant. Very mixed results I've had with the 10K driver. I have done a review on that. We'll maybe post the link up there for you. For me, it's just not happened. You know, I've had several golfers come in, tried the 10K driver compared to the G430 Max, let's say, not really seen any difference in performance. And the 10K driver costs another £80 more. It retails at £549 for the 10K, as opposed to £469 in my shop for the standard G430. So it's been a bit of a disappointment for me, to be honest. I know other pros have done really well with it, and I believe from the stats that we get from the retail people that it's the number one selling driver in the UK at the moment, but not for me. But hey ho, different things work for different people. What else has been going well? With Mizuno, I've had a little bit of a run recently on the 245 iron, some pictures up there. This is the Mizuno Pro 245. It's a forged hollow bodied club. Looks kind of like a player's iron in that it's quite small, compact, minimal offset, but because it's hollow, it gives quite a lot of forgiveness and it's quite powerful on the loft. So done quite well with that the last few weeks on a few fittings. Cobra, been a little bit hit and miss with Cobra. The dark speed driver, done quite well with it. I find half the problem with Cobra is just trying to get it into people's hands to try, and if they try it, it's great. Slightly better price point than some of the big boys, 429 for a dark speed driver as opposed to like 469 or 499 for the Callaways or the TaylorMades or the Pings. Not really had much success with the fairways, hybrids, and I haven't sold a single set of the dark speed irons yet, which is a bit disappointing. So yeah, kind of have to have a little think about where I go with Cobra next year. May give them a miss, may drop them next year. I don't know yet. It's too early to say. What else have I got to tell you? Wedges, been quite good. Putters have been really good. The Ping PLD putter has been really well received. I don't know if you've seen the latest range of Ping PLD putters. Every bit as good as a Scotty Cameron, milled faces, just beautifully crafted, expensive, you know, 399, that sort of price range, but beautiful bits of kit. So that's kind of where we are at the academy. Lots of lessons, lots of fittings, lots of gap testing, lots of rusty golfers who haven't played a lot of golf. So let's get in the teaching area there next door, and I'll just talk to you about a couple of things that I've been seeing on a regular basis with my customers. Let's go next door. So a couple of things that have occurred. Nothing new, by the way. When you're working as long as I have in the golf business, teaching people, you don't seem to see a trend of new faults. It's just old faults which tend to reoccur. So I've talked about this in lots of previous videos, but I think it's worth talking about again because I see it an awful lot. So let's just presume that as the golfer, you've got a decent grip and a decent setup. Let's take that as a given. So you're in sort of fairly good posture here. What I've been seeing an awful lot of in the last few weeks is on the takeaway, the golfer taking the club way too much back behind them. So we get into this sort of position here. Just look at how far that club gets behind my backside here. Okay, way on the inside, isn't it? The problem from here is we're going to get sort of very flat on the backswing. And also the shoulders start to turn in this sort of plane. So rather than my shoulders turning in this sort of plane, which we'll show you on the other camera in a minute, they start to turn in a very sort of flat plane, forcing the club back and behind. So here's the bad position. Okay, take a little picture of where that club is, and here's the good position that we'd like to see the club. Tour pros and good players always talk about trying to keep the club out in front of them here. Keeping it in front of the body. From here we can blend in some nice wrist hinge, but we can rotate the shoulders to really put the club on plane at the top. If we get into this position here, real nightmare. Shoulders rotate very flat, club gets stuck behind, so a lot of people's low point gets back here, they hit lots of fats. Or we see people then changing direction and then going over the top. Whichever way it goes, it's never good news. So just check that takeaway. Very, very simple. Get into posture. Take a 7-iron or something like that. Work the club back. So we get this feeling, what I call arms in, club out. If you can set the club into that position, it's a little bit of debate these days about what the club face should be doing at that stage. The traditional way is to get the toe of the club pointing to the sky. We're seeing more of the modern way, the club slightly closed, which is sort of mirroring my spinal angle at that stage. You'll get sort of different golfers will have different points there, dependent on some of the factors in the golf swing. That was point number one. Point number two is people are coming in after a long winter, and the grip conditions that I'm seeing, the actual grips themselves, truly awful. I had a guy in the other day, he had a set of Tour Velvets on there, which he's had on his clubs for, I think since he bought them 7-8 years ago. And they were so shiny, you could see your reflection, you could shave in it. I mean, you could barely hold on to them. And we know that grip pressure is a real killer of golf swings. When your grips get hard and shiny, you've got to instinctively grip much tighter, haven't you? Because you're going to let go of the club otherwise. So this guy was absolutely strangling the club. Grip pressure was unbelievable. So everything at that stage is completely locked out. You know, he couldn't get any wrist hinge, he couldn't create any club speed. So please, please, please check your grips before the start of the season. It's the easiest and most simple thing to help improve your golf. And there are so many great grips on the market these days. Besides getting a good grip on there, make sure you get the right grip size. If you've got big hands, try a mid-size grip. Go to your local PGA Pro or to wherever you get your looks after your golfing needs and get them to check your grips out, get them replaced, get the right size on there, get the multi-compound or a Tour Velvet. That's personal preference, but it makes a heck of a difference and you won't have to strangle the life out of it on your grip. So there we go. Brings you up to date. I'll try and post some content going forward in the next few weeks. There's not much new product to talk about, but hopefully we'll find some interesting things that we can keep the YouTube rolling along. Masters starts today. It's Masters Thursday, first day. Should be quite intriguing. The LIV players mixing back in with the PGA players. Lots of chat going on about that. I don't want to open the can of worms debate about LIV or PGA because it's way too volatile, very political. So we're not going to go down that route. But who's my money on? Smart money's got to be on Scotty Scheffler this week. I kind of hope McIlroy might get the monkey off his back and finally win at Augusta, but I don't know. But you know what it's like round Augusta. Someone can get on a hot streak, and you know there's dozens of players that are capable of winning round there. I hope Tiger can make it round 72 holes, makes the cut, but he seems to be hobbling a bit, doesn't he? Struggling a little bit physically. Seems to be swinging the club amazing. I watched a bit of footage of him swinging on the range. The swing looks as good as ever, but you know, Augusta's incredibly hilly, isn't it? Changes of terrain and stuff. So I'm just wondering if his poor body can take the actual walking of the course. I don't think it's a golfing issue. He hasn't completed a 72-hole tournament now in a long time, has he? So there we go. We'll keep an eye on the Masters, and we'll see who comes out the winner on Sunday. Always a great viewing. Just love looking at Augusta. It's just like the condition of that course is mind-blowing, isn't it? Really is. Anyway, I'm babbling on now. I'll shut up. Thanks for watching the video today. Post any comments down below, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.